Should you be with someone that cheats on you?
No, unless you want an open relationship, because the only way you should stay with somebody like that is if they're friends with benefits, sex playmate, open relationship. They're just not going to be loyal. Because if you take them back and then okay, we're going to be exclusive of each other again, they'll do it again. They just once a liar and a cheater. And plus, if you take them back, you're communicating they can get away with it. Because if she does it once, my experience is she'll do it again. Just like, I got a email that we're going to do. It'll be a video newsletter that's going to come out in this coming week, which by the time you guys see this video, it will have already been published. But this particular guy sent an email in January because he found his wife was sexting with some dude in another state. And not only was he upset about the sexting, but the language she was using, because she was saying things to this guy that in the whole time that he's known her, she's never once ever uttered anything like that. So he was stunned that his wife even thought that way or said those things. And so he ended up telling her, he's like, if it ever happens again, I'm out. And of course, a month or two later, this is the new email that he just sent me updating us on what's happening. Because this was a January email. We're now in early July. And so we're 7 months probably since the last email I got from him. And weeks after that, a month after that, because she's like, oh, I blocked him on everything. It'll never happen again. Month and a half later, not only is she still sexting this other guy, but she's making plans to meet up with him. And so some interesting things transpire, but he's still staying with her. And he's like, I know I'll be judged for it and everything. But one of the things he did say is that I guess she had a fetish or, so she shares she has sexting with him, but she still sexts with this other guy, but she hasn't met up with him in person yet, because again, he's like four or five. He's like in the middle of the country, and they're on, I think, the east coast somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. But he's like, I think they were going to go to therapy for a bit. He packed his shit and left for a matter of days. They slept in separate bedrooms, but he's like, our sex life it's the best sex I've ever had, and she's like the same place. It's the best sex she's ever had, and so they're playing out the fantasies she has with sexting. But he's like, I don't really care if she's sexting this other guy, because at the end of the day, I'm banging her. And I was like, so he hasn't made a final decision yet, but, because he's married.
He's getting enticed.
He's enticed because it's good pussy. That the thirst is real. It's best sex he's ever had now. And things are better than they've ever been between them. She's very communicative, but, and he's given her the leeway to sex this other guy because it's kind of a kink of hers or whatever, but. So it's an interesting email. It's like, me personally is like, I wouldn't be down with that. But he's got a different attitude. It's like, hey man, different strokes for different folks. I wouldn't do it, but it's going to be an interesting video newsletter.
Especially habitual cheaters, they tend to not have any remorse whatsoever. If it's like a bad habit
really
on
good
their
manipulators too.
Yeah.
Well, they think, because I've coached many of them over the years, have come to me and it's like, and I remember one. He was in Europe several years ago, and he was with his girlfriend. I don't know, 10, 15 years, whatever it was. Beautiful girl, and she had no idea. He was constantly cheating on her. He would travel. He'd be banging girls, and it's like. He's probably slept with 50 or 100 women over the whole time that they've been together, and she has no idea. Because she's kind of naive and she's really sweet. And he's like, he was very condescending in there. He's like, come on, Corey. He's like, everybody cheats.
No, not really.
And he's so convinced of it. I was like, no, dude. He's like, come on, you cheat. Like, no, I've never once. Not a single girl have I ever cheated on any girlfriend or my wife when I was married. Even when I was unhappy, I had opportunities. I was like, it's not the right thing to do. It's as simple as that. I'm going to keep my word. If I'm not happy, I'm going to end it and leave. And then I can get back in the dating world. But many guys I've talked to like that, they're convinced that everybody's like that. Oh, come on, everybody's that way. But that's how they see the world. And as Tony Robbins said, people are going to act consistently with how they view themselves to be, and it doesn't matter whether the view is accurate or not. So the story that he tells himself and his sincere belief is that everybody's that way given the right circumstances. Everybody would cheat. And so to him, that's what he tells himself, that, oh, everybody does it, so it's okay. Even though he says he feels bad at times, but it's like, I was like, dude, you've been with her like 15 years. It's like, you don't feel bad. Don't give me that bullshit.
If he really felt that bad, he would have stopped.
Yeah, exactly. So he doesn't feel bad.
Because there's that small percentage, like granted, I think cheating is bad, but there is that small percentage of people out there that actually, they cheat once and they don't do it again. But that doesn't happen often. But clearly this guy, he says he'll stop, but like I said, no remorse.
Yeah, the dude that's the other one that I was talking about earlier, the email I got, it's like he really wants to stay married. He doesn't want to get a divorce. That's a big deal to him. And so I guess the way he's kind of modified his marriage a little bit, where there's more openness, especially with their sex lives, and it's definitely spiced it up the best that they've ever had. But at the end of the day, this other dude is still in the picture.
Yeah.
And she's still sexting with another guy and having romantic feelings, but he's using that to his advantage because he's like, well, what did you guys say? What did he say? What did he say he was going to do to you? And kind of thing. And people are freaks, man.
They're into their own thing. I don't. That wouldn't do it for me, but I guess different strokes, different folks.
Yeah, if you're, because my goal is to give him the information to make an intelligent, informed decision and get what he wants, and it's like, hey, if he's cool with it, it's like, whatever. It's on you, man. You put your big boy pants on. If that's your decision, hey.
You're actually seeing a lot of that stuff on Twitter right now. Have you seen any of that stuff?
Well, there's somebody that's famous. He's got this really hot wife, and he's given her permission to do porn and get fucked by
she's
another
like a porn
guy.
star. They're both like porn star. Yeah.
Are they? They're porn
22.
stars?
Well, she's a porn star. She was a porn star before that.
Oh, I didn't know that. It just seemed like it was some actors. I was like, wow, she's hot, and he's all tatted up.
No, she was like a porn star.
And it's like he's giving her permission to go have sex.
He's the guy filming it too.
Is he?
He filmed it. Yeah.
Oh.
He was saying like weird shit. How he like? Yeah, it was weird.
People are freaks, man.
Yeah, there's
some
actually
guys
couples
just
like that.
like to watch their girlfriends or their wives get plowed by other dudes.
I also think it's a very good business decision. I was reading a thread how they're doing it as a business decision because it just blew up on the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone saw it, and everyone wants to go to their page to go buy it or something.
Look at the Pamela and Tommy Lee video from, what was that, the early 90s, I think it was. It was like, because it was actually, it was like, you could tell there was genuine love between the two of them. And there's a lot, Tommy Lee's funny as fuck, and a lot of things that the goofing around he was doing. It's like he was driving, I think they were in Lake Mead and this double-decker like houseboat type of thing, and they're both naked, and he's fucking beeping the horn with his fucking dick and doing stupid, shit like that. They're both fucked up, having a good time, and they're being very sweet to one another. So I was like, whatever, man. It ended up getting out, and I think they monetized it, and they made I think it was one of the most successful videos in history.
Really? I've never actually heard of that. So
the Pamela and Tommy Lee?
Never
Really?
heard
I've heard of it. I've heard of
I have
it.
not.
Yeah, it was like they just filmed themselves on vacations, having sex, and just, doing vacations where there's like nobody around and they're running around naked. And, he's a goofball, and he's got a good sense of humor. He's pretty funny. I see why girls like him.
Yeah.